Sup apes, hope everyone's having a great day. Going into FOMC, this is a group of shitters I'm looking to short. So the first one, I have this on a different chart, but basically this is in a sell model now. This is your original consolidation, another level. Then they took out an external high, and then it shifted market structure in the range. So if we look at the 1 hour, there's a rate and shift. You can look at it the 4 hour, basically rate shift into the target, leaving the 4 hour imbalance. Massive liquidity arc here, all these failed swings. So basically I'm looking to short in premium when it goes back into the 4 hour imbalance. If it gets rejected, I'll be looking at a 5-minute entry model. So that's ALCH. Cetus, it looks like this thing ran 200%. We basically have equal highs. So for FOMC, if they run up the highs here and then they deviate back in, I'll be looking to short that. Chill guy, you're basically looking for the short-term shoulder. So there's short-term high, long-term high. You're waiting for this shoulder to print. It's likely going to go after these highs here and here. So I'm waiting for this and then basically complete the market maker model, sell side. So I don't have it on this chart, but you could kind of see all the boxes where it would be. Cookie, this one's also in a sell program now. They took out this high. You had order pairing, very clear objective at the lows here. That's your original consolidation. Distribute 1, distribute 2. So I'm looking to play the sell side now. I don't know how low it's going to go, but ideally it pops into the order block here. Maybe grabs that high, even these highs, we'll see. Got to set alerts for that one. Really want this one, Koti. It's in the final stage distribution of a sell model. Basically from that high, distribute. We're gonna go over this tomorrow in the stream. Sorry, on Friday. It's the silver bullet entry where you have equal highs. You're waiting on a continuation purge. The server has alerts set, but the idea is this is your final stage of distribution into the lows, where we have this low and this low, perfect equal lows. So we have an obvious draw, and we have either equal highs or equal lows in the range. It looks to me like they're going to target the highs first, especially going into FOMC if we get a nice manipulation up. This one's in a sell model. In a buy model. I didn't finish charting this on stream, but you get the idea. There was a bottom here below this external low, the exchange listing low. You basically had these equals. So now you're looking to play the buy side of the curve. I'm not sure where the long is yet. To be honest, I'm short biased now, so I'm not too excited to long this just yet. I entered Farcoin. I don't know if this is going to be the bottom, but we had a server alert go off when they took that low. I saw 2-minute candles building over here, so I went in, targeting the equal highs. So that high and this high, they're equal highs. Again, it doesn't have to reverse here. What it could do is basically reclaim below and then target this liquidity arc in the order block, which is a daily order block. You can see the massive displacement above those highs. So this would be a great area to long. I would do a scalp long, and then if it ranges too long, I would wait for the order block stops to get rinsed and then go long, turbo long. FLM, again, this one's in a sell model right now. Here's your buy side. We're playing the sell side now. If you zoom in, this is Lord Duck's concept about flat tops and flat bottoms. You have a flat top 4-hour candle right there. And then below it, you have an imbalance. This is a very imbalanced zone, especially with the flat top, so it's a very obvious draw. And then if you map out dealing range high to low, that would be in premium. So this is going to be a very good short if we get it. And the idea is to basically short it into this imbalance and potentially one more level below that. So we don't know where this is going to stop, but definitely short bias now. We're in the sell side of the curve. All right, so that's Flamingo. Bro, they shorted just because of the name, the ticker, bro. All right, here's another one. I took an early short on this. It was good, but it looks like they ran it back up. And they left equal highs. So what I'm waiting for now is basically a purge of the equal highs, underside retest, maybe some kind of manipulation on low time frame, and then down. And then basically there's a huge imbalance here, and then failed swings all the way. So form looks good, potentially for a short. Got to organize some of these, but Foxy, we have a server alert here in the daily mid. And then if that goes off, I might have to put another one here in that weekly internal. Because right here, you actually have, I would call this a liquidity void. So either here or potentially up here, but regardless, I think this would be the better fade up here above those highs, just because if you go back, you could see that was a key level. So you would be playing like a bearish back test on this. Things run like that, maybe a base is here, and then it hits that. I would expect it to drop, basically inverting structure. So that's another one I'm watching, Foxy. That one's not as close. I'm in IMX, it's very manipulated right now, but the idea is fairly simple. We hit the daily imbalance, we've rebalanced the entire daily. This zone below it is a redelivered rebalanced zone. You could see the wick up, down, and then it closed well through it. This imbalance, they already checked back. That's been redelivered as well. And now you have on the low time frame a short-term low, long-term low that took that low, potential short-term low. They could resweep that. They could even drive it down below the intermediate term low. But this whole zone, what it's trying to do is reclaim anchored VWAP from the lows, right? So there's always going to be this weaving in and out of structure until it reclaims. You can see what it did here, weaving in and out, eventually reclaimed, and then it just took off. So hopefully we get the same type of scenario here. The only context that's different, it's in a downtrend, right? So you have to be aware of that, and can't have too strong a bullish bias when price has been delivering down. So IMX is another one in it. I'm probably gonna have to remove this one. Basically you have trap shorts. That was the whole setup from the beginning. I was expecting breakdown shorts to come in here. So now we have equal lows on the lower time frame here and here. So I just set an alert. Maybe there's a long here, but again, I'm short bias, so I'm not really concerned. Here's one for Kato. I know Alex was talking about this one. Exalt was asking about it. I see a very clean market maker model targeting the original consolidation, but again, if there's momentum, it doesn't mean once you take that that it has to die right away. Sometimes it'll just go for that next high. You can see I marked them out here. So that would be like a fake breakdown, and then take the other high, and then you get the real breakdown. So I'm prepared for both scenarios. Hits that, rejects, then I'll short if I get, and then stop immediately to break even. If it doesn't work out, I get stopped out. Then I know they're probably going for these highs, and I'll do the same game plan. So Kato looks interesting, very nice. Sell side is almost, buy side is almost complete. This thing is wrecked, man. I got stopped out by one tick at the top. So you'll see, I'll show you my entry and where I got stopped. This one's pain because I knew that was the top. but then they grabbed my stop because I was very tight here. So here it is. They took the top. I got in somewhere over here when they took that. Big drop. I got hyped up, and then bam, they took me out and then did the real drop. So that just shows you how manipulated some of the coins are, right? But yeah, this is gone now. I'll have to take this off my list. If anything with layer, yeah, this thing, like, we knew from day one this was going to be a total scam, and it was going to target the entire parabolic arc. So all these failed swings got nuked. I mean, not yet, but it already is getting ready to close outside of the daily imbalance, which means that's probably going to invert and become resistance. So if it breaks down and closes today, something like that, bearish backtest, and then rinse. So I still might look for a short, but it's kind of reckless to be looking at it down here as a short when you're like 60% down, right? So maybe not. Lever, this is a good server alert. I'm glad everyone printed on this one. I don't think the move is anywhere near done. Basically now you have equal lows and then this low, plus one more imbalance below here. So what they might do, they brought it back into the middle of the dealing range and rejected. So now they might start engineering liquidity on the way down until they take out everything. And then that could be the turbo long. We have multiple alerts set up. First one is right here. This is the daily midwick fill. So sometimes with a big, well, most of the time when they have a big wick like that, they'll come back and then rebalance half and then continue the move. If it shows weakness and it goes for this low, we have another alert here, and then we have our flush alert at the bottom. That's like to go all in once it bases. So we'll see what lever does, but yeah, this has way more upside. All these failed swings, that imbalance above, a liquidity void, nothing on the weekly, but on the daily you have tons of upside from here. I mean, this is probably going to be like a 3x minimum, even from where it is. That's 2x, liquidity void, 3x. Very nice. Meme-Fi hit our final target. Hope everyone printed on this one. This is RJ's coin. Very nice setup. Worked out beautifully. This right here is kind of where the short came in. There it is. So high to low dealing range. The mid, you had these basically all like this high, and then they're re-rating multiple times. So now you've shifted structure. I would look for any pop-up from here to get faded. That's not a rate, that's a shift. All right, there it is. So very nice. Any pop-up here, even if they take like re-rate the highs, this coin looks very scammy to me. So something like that, then I would go ahead and take that raid into here. Any pop, boom, down. This one looks interesting. I think that's gonna be top. OM took the lows, but the low keeps lowing. Shit. Only saving grace, it has some divergence, but RSI is quickly losing steam. So to me, it looks like it's gonna probably break down even more here, realistically. OP, this thing is bleeding out so hard. I mean, it's been down only forever. Look at this. The only good thing about this coin right now is I think we're getting very close to a bottom. I'm thinking one more drop into this low, and then if you zoom out, you have all these failed swings on the way up. You could really see them on the 4 hour and the 12. Basically, once you get above here, boom, all this liquidity. So OP looks crazy. Whenever the long comes in, you also have a major liquidity pool. all these. So this could be a good one coming up. Pengu, I think, is going to do a bull flag continuation. This looks like a continuation for me. They took out this low, they shifted above these highs, and now you basically have expansion, consolidation. Eventually you're going to have compression here, a breakout. This first breakout will probably be a trap, and then they bring it back to retest the zone. That's going to be the long, and then you're longing into the imbalance. So there, and the rest of the weekly. So Pengu is going to be a nice long. It just depends if today ends up being bullish. If not, then you might have to wait. Sweet. This is a short I posted in real time. It was like a 1 minute entry. Perfect entry. I could have held this, but again, it's hard to hold the alpha asset, right? Sui's been outperforming everything the whole way. And it's kind of hard to hold a short all the way through to target 3. But if this plays out, you have first imbalance almost filled. You have another one right here. You have another one here. And then again, we have Dux's flat bottom candle. So for me, that's going to be the target. I have it mapped out to an ABCD harmonic. 618 first pullback. You would project out to the 1618, and that would be like 460, which also would be in line with Gartley. So basically right there, the Gartley will line up with the ABCD harmonic. And the idea is to just backfill all this imbalance up to the 618, and then we should get a turbo bid, so we have an alert here. This will be a good long. Might have to be patient for it. Trump. This is going to work on putting in the the short-term low to the right. So I'm not sure where that happens, but we have a ton of alerts in here. Eventually, this is going to print the higher low, and then we should be off to the races because this has now shifted structure on the daily. Bullish. So these highs are going to be the first target. And then again, if it reclaims structure, sky's the limit on this one. Could be a nice runner. We'll see. Virtual front ran our damn alert. Kind of upset with this. We had a weekly mid here, but again, I should have had it a little bit lower, maybe 2-3 alerts going into it, like graduated alerts. So maybe one at the daily mid here, one at the weekly mid, and then one more at the deviation. So in the future, for coins that are volatile, that I think we could get big runners on, I'll do 3 alerts, ascending and descending. That way we don't get front run like this. But yeah, this is playing out. They might do one more pop. If they do this and grab the highs, then I'm confident we'll get our alert and we'll get that short. But this is definitely going down. VRA, we have basically equal highs here going into structure. So we have an alert there. And then we might put one up here in case. Zero bro is just going to zero. There's really nothing to see here. It's too late to short. And it's just not worth longing, to be honest, until it gets to like -4 standard deviation. But even there, it's a low volume node. There's no reason for it to bounce here. That's like the lowest node on the chart until like 10 cent. That's it. All right, those are the coins that I'm watching on pre-FOMC. Try not to gamble. Wait, like I said, wait for the manipulation. Sometimes it's a double purge. Well, they'll take the side of the bias first, then the lows. Like if it's biased up, they'll take the top side first, then they'll take the lows, and then they'll continue the move up and then start trending. So wait for trend usually, that's the best. All right, G's. Later.